majority of our community knows that, sea level rise is happening, climate change is happening, and they're at the point is, okay, what are we gonna do about it?
Our vegetation has changed, the shoreline has receded, and of course all the local families live mostly all along the shoreline here. And so we need to protect it so that we can continue our way of life out here.
Councilmember Rollins Fernandez hosted community work groups. And through those groups, there was a great concern about people not taking climate change and sea level rise seriously on our island.
Current models are already projecting that downtown Kaunakakai could be underwater in our lifetime or in our children's lifetime. So it's not as distant of a future as it may seem.
Then there's the drought and, our overpopulation of deer. When you look at the recent storms, how roadways get cut off, all of those things, climate change has a lot to do with it.
This plan is the first of its kind, and the purpose of it is to give our community an opportunity to determine what critical infrastructure we'll need to relocate or rebuild or re-envision for our future.
The goal of the plan is to create an action-based document that is Indigenous and community-driven.
I heard about this event, so I thought I'd come and see how drastic the problem would be. And I found out that it is drastic.
We really try to do a lot of community engagement, maybe things that they have seen over the years, and maybe their ideas on strategies on what they think we could do.
The first set of maps that we did just to show everyone what sea level rise could look like based on predictions, and we showed where the water could be and then also what roadways were affected. It showed cesspools and septic tanks and wastewater systems. And then the other thing that those maps show are where are places that certain communities could be relocated to if they want to.
A lot of my ohana come from the East End, and we always heard stories of how awesome our resources were here, and to see what climate change and how it can affect us in the long run just kind of like hits home.
We asked the community what's your top priority areas for infrastructure, roadways, and cultural and natural sites. And then the other part of coming up with the priority sites off of the list the community chose was speaking to all of the county departments, speaking to the state agencies, speaking to different community organizations. Part of the plan as well is having Sea Engineering, who's our engineering consultants, come on island to Molokai multiple times.
When we were there, we looked for anything that might be susceptible to the impacts of sea level rise. For example, critical infrastructure, any type of coastal uses. What's the existing vegetation like? What are ground elevations like? Soil types? And put them on the maps so that people can visually see the extent of each type of hazard.
The second set of maps we did really had an additional scientific prediction, which was the coastal inundation zone, and show invasive species, where water comes down from Mauka, the current conditions of the land in relation to the ocean. The other thing we showed for some of our priority areas is if they had local ias or fish ponds right by it, how can those help the priority site? We're looking at all options, not just introduced options, but traditional and Indigenous place-based options as well.
At this point in our project, we are coming back to the community at all 4 districts, and I really encourage you guys to come out because this is around the last phases of the community input to really nail down what this plan and project will entail.
If you don't participate, then we lose your insight and we value everything that everybody gets to say.
The planning and making good what's not right is important because it'll give us longer time here.
The hope is that, you know, when our keiki and when our mo'opuna have to experience these effects, it's not catastrophic. It's not a disaster. And how do we perpetuate our way of life while addressing these issues?